What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video. And today I'm doing my review and giving you the results of the 2021 UK Arnold Classic. It just wrapped up. It was a battle between Samson Dauda and Nathan Asha. I'm going to go pose by pose and break down who won which pose and who I actually had winning that 2021 UK Arnold Classic. Also, I'll go over the top 5 results, plus go over a few of the other guys as well and how they looked. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start with 5th place finisher Christian Wolski. Very balanced, great lines. This guy has a big future. If he continues to add size, he's going to be very dangerous in the open class. Big fan of his physique. In 4th place, we had Patrick Johnson. Now, conditioning was the only thing he really lacked. Great physique, a great pro debut. I think he turned pro about 3 years ago now. He's from Denmark. Looked fantastic. I think he can look even better as well. And if he can look better and bring that tighter conditioning, he'll be contending with, like Theo, who was above him, and maybe even Samson Dauda and Nathan Asha, although I think those guys were on a level of their own. And obviously Theo Laguerre, who I mentioned, looked fantastic as well. Brought some really good conditioning. I think he needs to just make sure he keeps his waist really tight because that's his sort of strength. If he can continue to keep his waist tight and continue to add size like he did from last year to this year, he's going to be doing very well in these pro contests as well, and obviously did very well in this contest, obviously 3rd place in the UK Arnold Classic. And then we get down to 1st and 2nd. Samson Dauda finishes 2nd in this contest. In my pre-judging review, I mentioned it was very close between Samson and Nathan. I said, I probably have Nathan just edging. I think he'll just win, but it was very, very close. Had Samson Dauda won this, I would have had no complaints whatsoever. That's how close this contest actually was. And before I get into the pose-by-pose comparison with those guys, I want to mention a few other guys as well that competed that finished just outside that top 5. First guy, Jamie the Giant Johal. One of the big issues I had with Jamie in this contest was the tan, which sucks because his physique was actually really good. He's added a lot of size. I think just the tan sort of let him down a little bit. And sometimes that's hard too because you go with whoever's tanning everyone at the contest, and sometimes it just doesn't take to your skin well enough or whatever. So he's naturally quite a white dude, so maybe that was the issue. But overall, I thought he brought a pretty damn good package. And obviously being 6'5", it makes it hard to compare him to some of these other guys, but he just needs to get to a point where he adds maybe another 10 pounds if he can over the next year, which is obviously a big ask. And bringing that really razor sharp conditioning that he brought at Puerto Rico, I think that would be a very dangerous package, and it would be hard to know where to place him at that stage. And I think that he'll be beating a lot of guys out by that stage because he's got a fantastic physique. He's got really round full quads, which is rare to see on a taller guy as well. Small waist, flares out from the lats. I mean, I really do like this dude's physique, and obviously being 6'5", you don't see many aesthetic dudes at that height. So Jamie the Giant Johal finishes outside the top 5, which you'll probably be disappointed with, but he has a huge future in this sport. Tim Budesheim, now I thought he was going to be one of the top guys in this contest. I thought he'd be easily in the top 5. He brought a pretty good level of conditioning overall. He was super full and sort of bursting full. I think it sort of hurt his midsection maybe a little bit, but overall, had he made the top 5, I would have had no complaints whatsoever. So Tim Budesheim, he's got to be disappointed with this, but I wouldn't be too disheartened because he's had a pretty good contest season. And Joe Seaman, he made some good improvements to this contest as well, had some really good conditioning, packs a huge amount of mass as well. He's got to be pretty happy with how he looked at this contest. I'm sure he would have won top 5 as well, but overall a very good showing there for Joe Seaman. And let's get into the battle between Samson Dauda and Nathan Asha. Go pose by pose. Now the video was, a little bit shadowed like it was at the Arnold Classic in America just last weekend, so I can't say for sure without actually being there who wins these poses, but I'll break it down at least from what I saw on the video. Front double bicep. Now, Samson has a better flow, in my opinion, on this pose than Nathan. Nathan has that long torso, which I actually don't mind the look of, to be honest. Some people complain about it and say, there's such a gap between where his lats insert compared to, where his quads start sort of thing, because his midsection is sort of longer. But I don't mind that look whatsoever. I think it was very close. But honestly, I probably would have had Samson edging this pose just on the overall shape and structure and the way it flows on his physique. Samson obviously has the huge quads, as Nathan does as well. But I think it just flows a little bit better on Samson. So I probably have Samson edging Nathan on that one. And obviously, I'm not up close as well. I can't see the level of conditioning. I think Nathan had a few more lines than Samson in the muscle, like when he hits a few shots, like through the chest and whatnot. But Samson was very, very impressive. Now, the front lat spread, this is one that I say Nathan wins hands down. Now, this has always been a pose for Samson where he has the sort of longer arms and he's got such a big structure, he struggled to fill out. This year, Samson actually filled it out better by far than he ever has before. And I think this pose is going to sort of become a strength maybe in years to come. He also has to add more size again to make this pose look sort of filled out properly, but it looks way more filled out this year and it looks much better. But Nathan Asha, this is a very strong pose for him as well. So Nathan wins the front lat spread hands down in my opinion. Side chest, I have Samson probably edging this one. Very, very close. I just think his height and his overall thickness through the chest and everything sort of gets him the win on this pose, which is, now it's 2 poses to 1 for Samson, which is pretty crazy to think about, going into this contest, because everyone said hands down Nathan wins this. Obviously he did, but this side chest looks very good on Samson Dauda. Back double bicep. Now Samson has the thicker back. When I saw the angle from the side, I'm like, wow, Samson's back really pops, and maybe in person that would, I suppose give him the win, but I'm not sure on this pose, to be honest. Nathan has the wider back, so I'd probably give it to Nathan, at least when you see the front on angle. From the side though, it looks like Samson, so I'm really not sure on the back double bicep, but let's say that, Nathan slightly edges Samson on that one. Back lat spread, Nathan wins this one. It's very hard to beat Nathan Asha on any sort of lat spread. He looks very, very good. He's very wide. I'd say hands down Nathan wins that back lat spread. The side tricep, now I'd probably give this one to Samson, especially when they do that sort of turn to the front. And these guys actually held that probably longer than they actually held the traditional side tricep as well. I think that, Samson sort of pulled up a little bit more. Nathan sort of crunched down on those abs a little bit too much, which probably didn't help him. So maybe it's more the way they actually hit the pose, but I would have given that one to Samson Dauda. The abs and thigh, now I didn't get a great angle on this one, so I can't give a proper assessment. The stream actually froze a little bit while this pose was happening a few times, which is unfortunate, but maybe Samson, he's got obviously a very tight waist, a very aesthetic physique, but so does Nathan as well. But I think maybe with the height, maybe Samson just edges Nathan on that one. Now the most muscular, I didn't get a great view of this one as well. I couldn't really see the conditioning level on these guys. I think when I saw from the side, I think Nathan had a few more lines through his chest and a little bit more conditioning in that regard. But Samson had a really nice shine to his physique. He had plenty of oil on, which really gave a nice sort of look. So very hard to judge. Samson did start sweating as well, which was a slight distraction. I know that's happened before with Samson, and it was like a little bit of a distraction. Steve Weinberger worked these guys really hard, so I can see why he was obviously sweating, but I'd probably give that one to Nathan Asha. So when you go through the poses, Samson won poses. I have no doubt that probably in person he won poses as well, but I'd say, a well-deserved win by Nathan Asha. It was very close. I could only see what I could see on this live stream. I haven't seen any high-quality photos or anything like that. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the results from the 2021 UK Arnold Classic? Who did you have winning? Was it Samson Dauda or Nathan Asha? It was a great battle. Cannot wait to see this contest back next year, and it's such an exciting time in bodybuilding right now with, contests weekend after weekend, and post-Olympia as well. There's going to be a lot of these European contests as well, so I cannot wait for all that contest coverage and to be covering it for you guys. And obviously don't forget, next weekend is the 2021 Mr. Olympia. I'm going to have a ton of content leading up to that contest, and obviously, doing my previews and predictions, doing my prejudging reviews, the show reviews, the press conference review, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell button, that way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. And if you like this video as well, please give this video a thumbs up and smash that like button. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.